Lord have mercy. It seems like all I'm good at doing is poking the rabies-inflicted 5-ton black bear who also happens to be on fire and know my home address with the dullest stick I can find in my backyard. I promise this whole channel isn't just going to be me complaining. I don't want to be the next I hate everything. I like things. I just haven't found a good way to talk about those things yet. So analog horror has been getting bigger and bigger over the last 2 years or so, which is really cool. It makes me happy to see people getting recognition for an interesting topic that they're so passionate about making. We're getting to the point where movies are being made in this style. I actually haven't watched many of these types of things, but I've seen Wendigoon talk about them, and the premise of them always seemed really neat. But the way they make the things that are supposed to be scary, these warped images and spooky noises just don't do anything for me. But like mentioned before, I haven't seen any of them. So for this video, I should probably do my research before I start talking any form of shit. Maybe my view on these things will change. Maybe my pants will change from a nice baby blue to a thick chocolate brown mousse after I'm done watching these. I was right! Kind of. After watching all 1 hour and 42 minutes, at the end I exhaled really hard. Not because I was relieved that I was done with this super scary movie, it was because I was bored out of my goddamn mind. This movie is short movie-wise, but it feels like an eternity while you're watching it. It's not long good like in the Oppenheimer way, it's more like, well, it's more like the Skidamarink way. Don't get me wrong, this movie has its moments, but they're overshadowed by the absolute nothing the rest of the movie was. I want to talk about one scene in particular that puts my two feelings for the movie together. The first big scene of the entire movie. Quick recap for the movie up to this point, I'll put a timestamp. There are two siblings, Kaylee and Kevin. They notice shit's disappearing in their home. Not like objects or anything, just whole fucking doors and windows. Their parents are nowhere to be found after a little bit into the movie, so they camp out on a couch in their living room for the next couple of days and wait for them to get back. They hear weird voices as well. Okay, we're up to speed. So Kaylee hears her father calling her from upstairs, so she grabs a flashlight and heads upstairs to her parents' room. Upon entering the room, her father's sitting on the side of the bed, his head completely out of the frame. He tells her quietly to look under the bed, and I gotta be honest, this shit was unnerving as fuck. Nothing happens. She does it again, and nothing happens. The tension in this scene is fantastic. The silence of these shots had my asshole ripping the fabric out of my seat at work. Then her mom shows up and her dad disappears. Her mom tells her to close her eyes, and when she opens her eyes, her mom is gone and the closet is wide open. You can hear groans and bone snapping. It's a great scene until, rah, jump scare, ooh, scary loud noise. And it was at that moment when all the tension flew straight out of the window. They had the crown fucking jewel of suspense set up right there. And what they should have done was kept it silent and ominous. Had Kaylee run out of the room when she heard bones snapping like what a normal child would do in this situation, instead of this lame-ass loud noise. Let's look at the next big scene of the movie. About 25 minutes after this one, Kevin is alone because Kaylee got taken. He's sitting on the couch watching TV. Suddenly, Kaylee yells for him to come to the basement. He slowly walks down the stairs, the flashlight the only source of light, painting the way and illuminating the dark. Boom! Jump scare! You fucking idiot, they got you again with the same fucking jump scare. Look, it's just the girl with her face photoshopped. Ooh, scary. In a movie that's all about building tension through the atmosphere, the worst thing that you can possibly do is rip all that tension and atmosphere that you built over the entire movie with a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. The final major scene is the knife scene, which is cool, I guess. It's acted very well. Kevin's in the living room when the disembodied voice that's been pestering them through the entire movie yells at Kevin that he wants to play. The voice flings the knife drawer open, and the next shot you see of Kevin is him sitting on the kitchen floor. Then there's a shot of the wall with the faint sound of a knife opening up. Great sound design for this part. Then, silence. But then an agonizing scream comes from Kevin. I will give Lucas Paul, the actor for Kevin, major props for this scene. His cry is haunting. It's fucking terrifying. But let's rewind. Why did Kevin poke his eye out? All because the voice says, "Put the knife in your eye." I guess the voice is just proving what he said earlier about how they can do anything. he's omnipotent or whatever the fuck he said. But I just feel like it was used for shocks. I don't care if you're gonna gouge a kid's eye out for a movie, but at least make it a good reason to do so. The last part of the movie's pretty neat, upside down shots of some of the home, and the amount of days the kids were inside this alternate dimension hell thing place. It's a really long amount of time and shows that the ghost monster demon thing wasn't fucking around. He really wanted to make these dumbass kids who did nothing wrong suffer. I guess he did. Or was it even real to begin with? Okay, this was better. A lot better than what I was expecting. This isn't scary, but it's still unnerving. I wouldn't say it's more unnerving than Skinamarink, but it was good enough. But the story and the monsters in it are fantastic. I still think the face morphing thing is a little goofy, and it makes me laugh every single time I see it. But the premise of what these alternates are and what they do is an absolutely terrifying thought. Let me explain if either A, you've been living under a rock, or B, you haven't watched Wendigoon's fantastic videos on this series. If it's the latter, what are you doing listening to me explain it? Go watch this man do it. He's more passionate about it and better at it than I'd ever be able to do it. Anyways, in Mandela County and wherever in the United States, all electronics have been outlawed because they allow beings called alternates to manipulate and eventually take over a person's, well, person. Their voice, their bodies, everything. But sometimes they can't do it all the way, so the parts of them will be warped and distorted beyond what's capable for a normal person to look like. Thus the goofy swirl and squash effect on people's faces. That's all well and good enough, but the scary part of what these doppelgangers will do. Pause. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Info hazard. Noun. A risk that arises from decimation of true information that may cause harm or enable some agent to cause harm. Example, the Wendigoon video about Cancer Man from Breaking Bad. The El Hughany FNAF 3 song's existence. You not hitting that subscribe. I fucking got you. They tell you an info hazard, information not desired to be known by the victim, causing them to, you know. I can't do it.
That'd be like using a shotgun for hair.
Just thinking about what the last couple minutes of your life must be when one of these invade your home gives me the willies. But then a photo like this shows up. The guy in the photo looks like his name's Tommy and he just passed out after crashing into the Walmart at 3 a.m. 13 shots deep on a second Everclear bottle. The story's scary as fuck, but once again, the parts for me that are supposed to get a scare out of you don't really do anything. And I'm a big horror baby. I refuse to play most horror games or watch horror movies because I'm terrified of them. I just wanted an excuse to watch Skinamarink and have another video to make. Wait, that's it. If the story itself is scary, the jump scares don't have to be the best. The story just has to keep you up at night or at least make you a little paranoid. And by God, both of these do that. Urethra! We have our answer. Are these types of media scary? Yeah, I'd say so. And I even know some people that are actually scared by the warped images. And I know some people that aren't even fazed by any of this. So really in the end, it just comes down to what your terror tolerance is at. I guess mine is somewhere in the middle for these types of videos and movies, and I'm alright with that. As long as there's some good in the media, I'm sure I can at least try to enjoy that part, even if I don't like the whole thing. For the first time, we have a semi-definite answer on the channel. For the last two videos now, I mean, I really can't give an answer on either of them, even though I'm right on both videos, but everyone's different and entitled to their own opinions, even if they're wrong. If you made it to the end of the video and enjoyed it, maybe like and subscribe. And I hate the shill even more than what I'm already doing, but I also started a Patreon for the channel. If you're into that sort of thing, you get early access snippets to the videos I'm working on, and hell, I'll even put your name in the video somewhere, probably at the start so I can show everybody off. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.